The Lord of the Rings Online, or LOTRO, is an MMORPG released in 2007, and it remains, in my humble opinion, one of the best adaptations of Tolkien's world. In this video I will try to show you the hidden or not so hidden details that make the world of LOTRO so immersive and lively. In the last installment of the series we looked at the Mines of Moria and the path the Fellowship took through the ancient Dwarven Kingdom. In this second part I will cover the other hidden details of the first expansion of the Lord of the Rings Online, the Mines of Moria. First, I would like to talk about the way the developers of LOTRO gave shape to Moria. As I mentioned in the previous video, Moria in the books is structured in 7 levels and 7 deeps, reaching up and down into the mountain respectively. The western side of the mountain hosted most of the mining facilities of the kingdom, and many of the rooms in this part of the mountain were very functional and not arranged for comfortable living. The eastern part of the mountain was arranged into more comfortable living quarters, as the Fellowship noticed their path becoming easier when they neared the 21st Hall. This layout presented a problem to the developers of LOTRO, as the game's engine prohibits layering areas on top of each other. This means the developers had to create a largely horizontal map in such a way that it felt like the space was layered on top of itself. They achieved this by making you feel like you are descending the more southward you go and ascending the more northward you go. Some of the details that I will cover in this video will help with creating this illusion. Ultimately, the map was divided into 10 areas: Zirakzigil, Durin's Way, the Great Delving, Zeleb Melek, Nud Melek, the Silvertine Lodes, the Redhorn Lodes, the Flaming Deeps, the Waterworks, and the Foundations of Stone. Several of these areas you will have seen in the first Moria video while we were following the path of the Fellowship. Most of the other ones we will cover in this video. If you are interested in the way the Lord of the Rings Online team creates maps, I highly recommend the video series called A Casual Stroll, uploaded on the official LOTRO YouTube channel, where a map developer of the Lord of the Rings Online team goes through a map he has created in the past. When entering Moria, new players may be in for a bit of a nasty surprise. Their prized horse they spent hours of reputation grinding on cannot be used inside the mines. Only a goat will suffice, as they are adept at navigating the treacherous terrain of the underground. In the Casual Stroll episode on Moria, a LOTRO developer reveals this change of mount was inspired by the abandonment of Bill the Pony outside of Moria. If the Fellowship's steed cannot travel through Moria, neither can yours. In the Fellowship of the Ring, while the company is crossing a gap in their path, in what the game is called the Great Delving, they hear the rumbling of a great wheel down in the depths. This area below is called the Waterworks in-game, and it can be accessed by traveling through the Silvertine Lodes to the rotting cellar. Alternatively, you can throw yourself into the well at the chamber at the crossroads, as I did in the previous video. In this murky hall you will find the cause of the noise the Fellowship heard, a great running wheel in the flooded deeps. It's simply called the Great Wheel, and it used to power the pumps of the dwarves, which provided drinking water and coolant for the forges. There is more to be found lurking in the Waterworks, but we will get to that later. When Gandalf reunites with Aragorn, Gimli and Legolas in Rohan, he explains to them how he defeated the Balrog and returned to them as Gandalf the White. He tells of nameless things in the deepest depths of Moria, gnawing at the foundations of the world. This area is called the Foundations of Stone in-game, and it consists of a large green lake rimmed by strange purple rock and riddled with horrifying creatures. In the middle of this lake lies an island where you can find the broken piece of the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, which fell together with Gandalf and the Balrog. Next to the bridge fragment, a burned grey hat can also be found, the first clue showing Gandalf may yet be alive, found by the player. In the Foundations of Stone is another interesting landmark, the existence of which Gandalf gladly discovered during his fight with the Balrog. The Endless Stair was a stone staircase leading from the deepest depths to the highest peaks of the mountain. Gimli reacted with surprise at Gandalf's story, as he heard many say it was destroyed or never even built in the first place. The Balrog sped up the staircase with Gandalf in hot pursuit. This staircase can actually be found in two places inside LOTRO, deep below in the Foundations of Stone and in the northern part of Moria. This really helps with the previously mentioned illusion of verticality. Unfortunately, it cannot be climbed very far from the bottom in the Foundations of Stone, as it has been damaged by the Balrog's passage. The top of the staircase leads to the peak of the Silvertine, one of the three mountains housing the Mines of Moria, called Zirakzigil in the dwarven language of Khuzul. There, Gandalf fights with the Balrog, and its huge body broke the mountainside as it fell down to its death. This area can be reached in two ways in the game: through the Peaceful Path, which was probably made by the dwarves of Moria themselves, and the Broken Cleft, which was created by the damage the Balrog's fall did to the side of the mountain. In this small area you will find the smouldering body of the Balrog itself, extinguished but still emanating a sense of dread. Another relic of the past can be found in the passage called the Deep Crossroads, where the Fellowship fled through on their way to the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. In this passage you can find an old abandoned camp of Balin's expedition. It is overrun with vermin crawling through the old equipment of Balin's dwarves. And at the end of the passage lies the chamber of Mazarbul, where the player character actually finds the Book of Mazarbul, which details the fate of the expedition. This is actually a bit of a plot hole, as Gimli took the book with him from the chamber before the attack of the goblins in the books, so it should not still be there when we visit it. In the storyline of the expansion you do a session instance, which are missions where you play as a different historical character, as the dwarf Ori, who chronicled the later part of the Book of Mazarbul. You may know Ori as one of the members of Thorin's expedition from The Hobbit. This instance follows the written text of the book very closely as Gandalf read it. The first part of the instance you fight along dwarves called Frar, Loni and Nali, who are all mentioned in the book as having fallen in the fight for the Bridge of Khazad-dûm and the Second Hall. At the end of the first part the Balrog appears and you flee while the others fall. Back in the chamber of Mazarbul, where Balin's group made their headquarters, you learn Owen has been taken by the Watcher while attempting to open the door of Durin near Eregion, taking the axe of Durin with him. Ultimately, you as Ori die at the end of the instance as you finish the Book of Mazarbul. The death of Owen, as mentioned in the Book of Mazarbul, is echoed in the story of LOTRO with the character Broin, who was taken by the Watcher when the player character enters Moria with the Iron Garrison. The player character searches through an area called the Drowned Treasury looking for Broin. You find him in a hall laden with gold and other treasures as you fend off the tentacles of the Watcher as it attacks you. You successfully rescue Broin from the chamber, but not without taking with you a great treasure. Next to your companion, you find the remains of Owen, who laid there alone for 25 years. From his cold hands you wrest Ziggleberg, the mithril axe of Durin. However, in the meantime it has become clear that the danger the Watcher presents to the logistics of recapturing Moria has proven to be incredibly high, potentially blocking off one of the exits of the mines. The player character can defeat the Watcher in a 12-man raid called the Vile Maw, which is an area all the way in the back of the Waterworks. After a great fight, the creature is defeated and will trouble the Iron Garrison no more. These achievements would not lead to the reclamation of Moria, however. As mentioned in the previous video, this would not be achieved until the 4th Age. With this last detail of this video, we will look at an instance where we get to see Moria as it was when it was still in the hands of the dwarves, and as it might be again when it is reclaimed and purified. In this session called the Fall of Moria, you play as Nafni, a trusted servant of King Durin VI. In the year 1980 of the Third Age, about 1,000 years before the Quest of the Ring is undertaken, you see the Hall of the King in its full splendor as you join him as he shows a delegation of elves their newest delvings deep under the mountain. He brings the elves there to refute any rumors that the mines of Khazad-dûm are running dry of mithril. After cracking through a wall, you witness the rise of the Balrog and the death of Durin VII, which leads to the fall of Khazad-dûm. Thanks for watching this video. With this video I hope you've gotten a good idea of the majesty of Lord of the Rings Online's adaptation of Moria. I really enjoyed seeing many of the reactions to my previous video, as it took quite a lot of effort to make, so I would like to thank everyone for that. Subscribe and stay tuned for the next video, where we will be taking a look at the most magical and majestic area of all of LOTRO.